Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the Intercollegiate Rowing Association National Championships here at Lake Natoma in beautiful Gold River, California. All right, so we're back up at the start for our second flight of racers for our women's lightweight double. In lane 1 for Radcliffe, we have Kira Marika Dwan, a sophomore out of Singapore. And in the bow seat, Stella Schweitzer, your first year out of Norwalk, Connecticut. First time racing the double at the IRA for both of these athletes. So it looks like we should have everyone just sitting ready at the start. We're just a sniff behind schedule, which is a little unusual for our referees. But they're off and underway now in the second flight of the women's lightweight doubles. Again, we're looking at crews from Radcliffe, Wisconsin, Georgetown, and Stanford. 3 to go through, and 1 crew will miss out on an appearance in the grand final tomorrow. As we're approaching that first landmark buoy, 500 meters come and gone for these women's doubles, and it's Radcliffe continuing to lead our crews from Wisconsin and Georgetown, your 3 qualifiers at the moment, with Stanford just the crew to miss out.
Really nice sculling from this Radcliffe crew. Looking really horizontal, really accelerated, and calm. I mean, I know there's a lot of power going down under the hood, but the aim of sculling is to stay as calm, collected, and loose in those upper bodies as possible.
Radcliffe and Wisconsin doing well in positions 1 and 2. It does look like Radcliffe have responded to this Wisconsin pressure as well. Here we are riding with the race leaders in the black and white. This is your Radcliffe crew just holding on to that first place position in lane number 1. And have Wisconsin now just gotten their bow ahead again of this crew from Radcliffe. Just the slightest of advantages now for the Badgers, overstroking this crew from Radcliffe as we're coming toward the finish line. I think Radcliffe just looking to respond, looking to maybe just understroke and do it with power against this Wisconsin crew. Wisconsin has taken the rate up in order to try and move, but Radcliffe are staying very cool, still relying on length, not letting the wheels come off as they feel the pressure come up, and just seeing if they can keep that bow ball just a millimeter ahead. Ooh, it's going to be so close all the way to the line. Radcliffe kept their cool, though. I think to my eye, it looked like it was the black and white that were able to hold on. All right, and no rest for us here in the media gazebo. We're right back up to the start to pick up our next round of racers that are underway. We're looking at 4 more boats for this women's lightweight 4. We're looking in lane 1, Boston University, in lane 2, Radcliffe, lane 3, Georgetown, and in lane 4, Stanford. Ooh, nice little shout that we saw from the stroke woman of that Radcliffe crew, Michaela Darcy out of Manasquan, New Jersey. Just urging them on, just seeing what they can do to challenge the race leaders from Boston University, maybe not happy with this margin that they currently are sitting in. And there's that open water margin, I think, that we're seeing between Stanford and Georgetown. Our first qualification boats are coming across the line now. Boston University in that first place position and on to the grand final, followed by a very feisty Radcliffe crew in that second place position. Oh, I'm just looking at that right now, Dave, and none of them have come close to being under threat just yet. You know, 2017 was when Stanford was sort of in a very dominant era in their program's journey, the Kate Burko years. So some of those times are going to be pretty quick. We're not quite there yet today. Conditions are not super fast here at Natoma this morning, but we can always hold out hope for tomorrow. All right, so our next round of racing is underway for our women's lightweight 8, our last round of women's racing for the day. In lane 1, we have Radcliffe. In lane 2, Stanford. In lane 3, Georgetown. And in lane 4, Wisconsin. Here we get a sense of the margin of the Hoyas against our race leaders from Radcliffe over in lane number 1. Great contrast in the rowing styles between those 2 programs in particular, as they are the 2 leading the field at the moment. Radcliffe just looking incredibly long and very relaxed. Georgetown just looking a little bit more frantic, just a little bit more nervous. I think they're under a little more pressure than Radcliffe are at the moment from this crew from Stanford. All right, well, Radcliffe executing a masterclass in that beautiful patience on the front end. He's just capturing as much length as they're able to and continuing to push away from the rest of the field. It's open water now for that Radcliffe crew over this crew from Stanford, who are continuing to move through this Hoya boat. So half a length advantage for Stanford at this stage, securely into second now and continuing to move on Georgetown. Radcliffe looking very dominant out in front, continuing to build that open water margin. We'll see if the black and white are going to actually step on and build into that sprint phase, using that length in order to continue to move themselves past the tents here at the beach and the finish line. Stanford continuing to build their margin as well. It's almost a full boat length advantage for the Cardinal over Georgetown, at least from this angle. It might not be quite that full boat length, but there they go. Stanford have launched their sprint phase. They've taken the rate up in these last few strokes rowing to see what momentum they can continue to shift in their boat against this crew from Georgetown. All right, a well-timed race from Radcliffe. First across the line, looking very cool and composed.